Kia ora, this is Mr. Wilson, just looking at revision for Level 2 Business. This is the first video, and the idea of this one is to get a good example of what it's like to do the income statement. We're starting off with a trading business, so we're just going to draw your attention to this part here and do this part. So the income statement, the purpose of this is to calculate the profit. The purpose of this exam video is to have a look at the income statement itself and understand what is in the income statement, the order of it, and how to classify. These other exercises are for a little bit later, so we won't worry about that now. So to start off with, I'd like you to get a piece of paper out or a study material, and I'd like you to write it down. The heading, exam business, trading business, income statement for the year ended 31st of the 3rd, 2021. Press pause when you need to, just to get the headings in. The purpose of an income statement is to calculate the profit. So in the bottom line, I'm going to put this in cell 22, is giving you the profit, and that's the whole purpose of this statement, to calculate the profit. It's also called, other than an income statement, a statement of financial performance, to see how well the business performed. There are three key parts to this: income at the start, and we're going to take away the expenses after that. We're going to get the profit at the end. So you can see this business, exam trading business, has a profit of $310,800. So we've got to work out how that happened. So to start with, we're going to start with the income section. So we'll write the income, and the income doesn't need a heading. This one's just sales. So on yours, write in sales. After sales, we're going to write sales returns. So we're going to find sales returns on the debit side of the trial balance, sales on the credit side. For those ones, add into yours as well the numbers. So we've got 782 as the sales. We take away the sales returns to give you net sales. We don't need a heading for net sales, just a figure. 282 minus 2000 is 280. So that gives us our net sales figure. After that, the next session is called cost of goods sold. In level 2, we can just add the less cost of goods sold. So write that in as well, less cost of goods sold. The figure is going to go into the third column because it's a very important figure. So we've got our sales, our net sales there, less our cost of goods sold gives us, what's the name of this? Call it out. Hopefully you said gross profit, and the figure sales less cost of goods sold gives us our gross profit. Very important figure for later on. This is what we use for our markup percentage, our gross profit percentage, when we're doing our analysis. Gross profit is how much we add on to the cost price to get the sales price. Or if we're looking at it the other way, out of our net sales, what percentage ends up as gross profit. What comes after gross profit? See if you can remember again. Call it out, say it in your head. Plus other income. Oh, did that the wrong way. Okay, and so the other income is just a heading. And so there's many of these. Can you remember 3 of them? Come up with some ideas. So these are on the credit side, and they will normally end up with received. So we've got discount received, rent received, income received, commission received. In this case, we've just got the discount, I think. And a discount received, other income, it's a discount to us. Because there's only one figure, we'll put that figure in the end, and we're going to add that onto our gross profit. What happens after other income? All right, I hope you're writing these in as well, because it's really good revision. So we've got sales, less sales returns is net sales, less cost of goods sold, gives us a gross profit, plus other income. And then we're going to take away our expenses. So do you remember the names of the other expenses? What's the first one? Distribution costs. All right, next one. it again. There's our administrative expenses. And our last one, heading, is financial cost. So if you're doing this on a piece of paper, you can see the gaps here. There's 3 for each of those. Put those headings in. Expenses are distribution costs, administration costs, expenses, and financial costs. All right, so on the trial balance on the left-hand side, we'll see a whole lot of expenses there, and you have to classify them, DC, AE, or FC. So then let's come up with some examples of distribution costs. I'll give you time, just press pause on that and write in those names. And then when you start again, we'll write in distribution costs. Now the key around distribution costs are these are costs that interact you with your customer. So a distribution cost could be advertising to start off with. It could be anything to do with the shop because that's where you and your customer are interacting. It could be delivery vehicle expenses or any sale expenses. So any expenses to do with the shop, delivery van or delivery or sales come under distribution. So I've put a few. So I'll get you to add these into yours as well. Advertising, sales wages and depreciation on delivery van. All delivery van costs will go there, all sales costs will go there, all shop costs will go there. And the total of those, keep writing them in, will go into the second column. So they're your total distribution costs. Administrative costs, these are a little bit different. These are costs of running the business, but they're not costs that interact with the customer. So costs that interact with the customer are going to be up in distribution, costs that are running the business but not interacting with the customer under administrative. So we're going to put 3 in there as well. I'll get you to write those in your notes as you're going through. I've got bad debts, doubtful debts of course could be there as well. Office expenses, so obviously anything to do with the office isn't related to the customer. And depreciation on equipment. Notice this didn't say shop equipment or delivery equipment, it was just equipment. Put those figures in and the total into the second column. And the last one, the financial cost, this is our interaction with the bank. This is our borrowing from the bank. And we know there's only one financial cost, and what is that? Call it out. Good, it should be interest. Now this could be interest on mortgage, interest on loan, interest on bank overdraft. If it's got interest and it's on the left-hand side, it's going to be under financial cost. Because there's only one financial cost, we put it straight into that second column. All right, because the total is the same as the individual. And we'll total those costs, and because it's an important figure, it goes into that third column. And that's the conclusion of the income statement. So just as a review, we've got our sales, less sales returns, less cost of goods sold. Don't want dominoes here. Sales less cost of goods sold is our gross profit, plus other income, less our expenses, distribution, administrative and financial costs, gives us a total expenses. And we take our total expenses away from our income there, gives our profit for the year. Okay, and that's what we're after. That profit for the year will be transferred through to the balance sheet, and on the balance sheet it'll be added to our opening capital. So there's 2 exercises I'd like you to do. I'll send you this file through. The one exercise I'd like you to go through and just classify. So at the start, accounting fees, if I write DC, our sad face remains. If I write AE, because it's an administrative cost, it goes to a smiley face. So I'd like you to go through and classify all of those, get smiley faces. The idea for you is to practice, because really the only ones you've got to work out are the difference between DC and AE. Second thing I'd like you to do is this Kahoot link there. So if you click on that link, it gives you a Kahoot challenge, just 10 questions around the income statement. You'll have to type some, you'll have to put some in the order, but again, it's good practice. So this is the first revision on the financial information. The next one will come on this link as well. So have a crack at this as revision for the financial statement or for income statement practice. Great. Ka kite, enjoy, make sure you work hard at it, and I'll see you on the next video.